I was born in Jamaica, in the rural part, and some people say the countryside. And I moved here to Canada when I was 18 years old. And so I pursued an honors BA at York University and also went on to pursue a master's degree as well at York. I was the founder of the Newmarket African Caribbean Canadian Association. And how I came to that role is I had lost my mom back in 2015. She had passed away. Living in Jamaica, not having opportunities in education, I've been dispossessed and not having those opportunities, that my mom is a part of that history of colonialism and her descent, her mother, and going back as far as I could, that this is a history of colonialism. And so for me, it felt like a great sense of responsibility about what am I now going to do about that. So this is how I came with the idea of NACCA. We came together as a community back in 2018, specifically on May 5th. As a group of community members, we sat down and we discussed, how could we foster a legacy of unity, education, and empowerment for youth. One pivotal point in that discussion actually was this idea that we need to build a sense of belonging and rootedness and connectedness, and how are we going to do that? All the activities and events that we put on is really to bring people together to get to know each other. It's also to foster a sense of history and culture and identity. But the whole point is to celebrate these students. It warms my heart. So I see that in my children, and I see that in the community. I hear the stories of families saying, had it not been for NACCA, I would have moved out of town. Because of NACCA, I can see how I belong here. I can see how I connect to this place. Let me say, the board is doing a phenomenal job. As far as I observe, I think that the board has really reflected on itself, has really admitted to itself that there are systems that need to change in order to change outcomes. And I think that they've taken gigantic steps from the director and down to walk the walk and talk the talk. As far as Black excellence, I think for me, Black excellence is something that we embody. It's in our DNA. And I think that shining a light on it helps students and the general national consciousness to understand that there are other narratives. And so you take this small group and you magnify and you enlarge. And that's what Black excellence does. One of the things that I hear very often when we talk about Black history and Blackness, specifically Black history, is when we refer to our ancestors, we refer to them as slaves. So I think in our consciousness going forward, as a people, as a school board, as a community, we must shift our mindset. If we're honoring and we're celebrating, we're also reimagining. We're also deconstructing language. We're giving the power back to the people that it was taken from. And so part of Black power is unlocking that. And so it's important that as we move forward and we think about language, think about the power of language to change things, and we think about Black excellence, that we remember that our ancestors, that we're not descendants of slaves, right? We have to remember that Black excellence is not a recent phenomenon, that it happened 5,000 years ago. Black history is a time to reflect. There's the large narrative. There's the bigger idea of celebrating achievements and contributions of African Canadians. For me, I live for the micro. Celebrating history and contributions are important, they're vital, but what am I learning about myself? how am I going to turn that into action? All of the work that we've been doing this month, focusing on Black excellence, will not stop here. We will continue the conversation beyond Black History Month.